I am God. I am the solution to your problems. I haven't made a long video for a while, so I thought I'd make one. I hope you don't click off as soon as you heard me say, I am God. That's probably quite typical, I imagine. That's what most people would do, I suppose, wouldn't they? It's your funeral, okay? So I'm telling you who I am. You can accept it or you can deny it. You can ignore it. You can ignore what I'm saying. That's your choice, okay? For anyone who wants to listen, let's talk. So I've done a lot of videos. If you haven't watched them before, go watch them after this video. I've explained a lot, and I'm not going to repeat myself in this video, but I want to talk about the situation in the world, and specifically the United Kingdom. England, where I live. I've lived for 36 years. So the situation is looking very bad. It's looking very bad. I think there's a lot of people, they tend to, a lot of people, I mean, that's the thing, right? You have people who are affected the most, and they're more likely to get really angry, right? And then you have people who, they understand that there are problems, and they only participate as much as they feel comfortable, if you know what I'm saying. Well, they hope that somebody else will fix the problem. People always seem to have, I know a lot of people who are like that. They're very sort of like, well, someone else will take care of the fucking problem. That's how a lot of people look at it. They think they can just shout a few words at the television, say something on Facebook, and someone will sort out a problem, whatever it is. The fact is, I am God. I am being ignored. I have no friends. I have nobody who I have conversations with. I'm surrounded by spirits. That are with me, okay? They've been with, I've known about these spirits being with me for since 2019. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a ride. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride for me. I've made a lot of videos explaining it all. Thing is that, and obviously I have to be careful what I say. In the past, I've said things, and I realized that, people, what's the point? What's the point? What is the point? Anyway, I'm going to say what I feel like saying in this video, whatever that is. The thing is, look at Tommy Robinson, for example. What does he think? So he came from a Catholic family. I think he said his mother was Catholic. The thing is, he doesn't, this is the thing. There's a lot of people who look at Christianity, I heard someone use an analogy, talking about everyone living in this country. They're like goldfish in a fishbowl, and the water in the fishbowl is Christendom. It's what has come from a Christian civilization, and the people who are living in that are goldfish. They've forgotten God. They don't know me. They don't want to know me. And I am waiting. I'm waiting. I've explained in my previous videos, I'm essentially the serpent on the pole. I'm the serpent on the pole. And as long as people ignore me, if people don't pay attention to me, if people aren't looking at me, then they're getting attacked by snakes, vicious snakes. And that's the problem. That is the problem. So let's talk about, the situation in the United Kingdom. Because, you've got people, they're very hopeful, aren't they? They seem to think that they can reason with people who are on the left, let's say, okay? People who are pro-immigration, or, people who are Labour supporters, for instance. The thing is that those people, they don't listen, they don't hear. They are more or less robots. They are only interested in, think about it. You've got people who are totally invested in the idea of having mass immigration. They're totally invested in ideas that are destructive to society, essentially. That's essentially what they're doing. They're going full steam ahead, and you got another 4 or 5 years of the Labour government, pretty much. And it doesn't matter what you say to them. It doesn't matter what you say to them. It's ridiculous. Look, think about it. Okay? You've got people like Jess Phillips, and you got the Labour Party. They're talking about misogyny. They're saying that it should be illegal. And what does that really mean? What does that really mean? The thing is that, well, what do Muslims believe about women? What do they believe? How are women treated in Islamic countries? So what is misogyny? If I said, if a white British man said, or a Christian man said that women should cover their bodies, they shouldn't be going around in mini skirts and thongs and, shaking all their bits all over the place. Some people would call that misogyny. They say, how dare you? How dare you say that? But at the same time, they're inviting in people who would, who actually have a more extreme idea of covering a woman, which is basically where they can only see through a very narrow gap. So their faces are completely covered. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? So what's the point trying to reason with people who, you can't reason with them? There's no, you can try to present them with logical facts, but it's pretty obvious. What they are is they're evil. They're snakes, is what they are. And there's a battle between good and evil. And the thing is that there are people. So there are people who have more truth than the evil ones, let's say. But the people who have some truth are not. They don't have all the truth. They've got some truth. And the problem is that, people on the right, they want freedom of speech. They want to be able to talk about what they want to talk about. But the thing is that they've denied other people the right to freedom of expression. There are people in the past, let's go back, I don't know, about 80 years. There are people who aren't allowed to speak. They're not allowed to express what they believe to be true. And so that's a problem. Why shouldn't they be allowed to talk about, even if you think what they are going to say is a lie, should they still not have the ability to speak and make their voices heard and make their argument? That's the problem. This is part of the problem. You can't ask God, say, oh, give us freedom of speech, God, help us with this freedom of speech stuff, whilst you're denying it to somebody else. That's not fair. That's not how, why should God give you that? Why should God help you with that? This is the problem. People want their freedom of speech, their, right to speak protected. But, when it comes to, if it's not in your interest, if you feel like it's not in your interest, then it's okay to censor someone's speech. And that's the problem. The British people are not looking hard enough at what may be the problem. Well, what is the problem, It's a serious problem. And that's the thing, propaganda. I mean, look at it. Okay, so children, what are kids are being taught in school these days? How long has propaganda, for how many, when did propaganda start being a thing, do you think? There's only so far I'm prepared to go to help people, because I've learned what I had to learn. So, it's on everyone else to learn. I've made it very simple for you. You either recognize that you're being unfair, and you're only and that's the thing. People are only interested. They can only see as far as the end of their own fucking noses. And that's it. What more do you want? And, the thing is that, look at Tommy Robinson and Jordan Peterson. Who is it they align themselves with? I saw a video earlier on of Jordan Peterson. He was on stage, talking about Israel and the Jews, and he was all he was crying on stage and stuff, and he's like, oh, you got such an amazing story. Look, what do people even know about the truth? What do people know? People have been fed all kinds of lies. Okay? They have no idea. They have no idea. And this is part of the reason, I say I'm God. And people are like, no, you're not. You're a brown. Who taught you that Jesus was brown? Where in the Bible does it say Jesus is a brown man? Where did it say that? Nowhere. So, what is it? What's the problem? What's the problem? I was watching a video it was a guy's channel, black guy, and he has a channel called Faith Talks, and I thought he did an excellent video talking about. He did a video talking about Tommy Robinson, And he said, and he explained it very well. I think he uploaded it today, actually, which is the 23rd of August. So, yeah, I mean, he was explaining that, Tommy Robinson was basically saying that, he's kind of Christian, he's not really sure, and, he was in prison and he was like, yeah, show me signs, like, help me out here, blah, blah, blah. Well, look, Tommy Robinson, he gets a lot wrong. He's not perfect. And the thing is that people want to follow the wrong people. That's the problem. People are supposed to put God first. I'm God. And I've been trying my best to tell people who I am. Unfortunately, people don't like hearing me say that. They don't like it. And all I can say is that people are going to suffer. People will suffer as a result of that. I kind of wish we could move to the next stage and be like, okay, and then we could recognize the situation for what it is, and we can fix it. We can get it sorted. I'm still waiting. And I'm really tired. I'm tired of it all. I really am. Anyway, what was that guy saying from Faith Talks? He was talking about, well, that's the thing, he was saying that people have turned away from God and people aren't doing what God would expect of them. And that's the thing, people want to follow people like Tommy Robinson, or, people like Andrew Tate. He's another one, right? Jordan Peterson. I mean, look, these people aren't perfect, and they have lots of flaws. There's lots of, problems about them. People are constantly trying to find their own solutions. People are trying to fix everything without God. That's the problem. And people don't recognize the truth. They only recognize certain truths. They see the things that are most obvious. I mean, the problem in this country is, immigration is a serious problem. People voted for Brexit. People wanted to reduce immigration. And that's not happening. It's not happening. You really think that the Labour government is going to stop immigration? It's all a show being put on to keep people confused. It's all nonsense. You watch Sky News, we watch BBC News, you watch GB News, and it's your people. All people are doing are wasting time, and you're wasting my time. It's annoying. It makes me angry, and bad things are gonna happen. I'm God, so bad and terrible things, yeah, they're gonna happen. Okay. How bad does it have to get until someone takes notice of me? That's the question. That's the question. There's a war going on between me and evil. Okay? Evil demons, if you want to, evil spirits, foul spirits, and people choosing to ignore me. A lot of evil magic has been done against me in order to hide me, to steal my light, essentially. That's what people have done. Lots and lots and lots of witchcraft. An example of that would be everyone, stars and superstars. Yeah? That's an example. Freemasons, secret societies, people doing evil witchcraft, rituals. It's all about being worshipped, it's all about money, it's all about power. People are very, most people have no real idea of what magic is. They don't actually know. They have a very, 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 limited understanding of it. In fact, most people don't even believe it's real. They have no idea. I've done a lot of explaining. I've got hundreds of videos. So, please take a look. What more can I say? So, the situation in this country is hopeless. To put it simply, the only way you could have any hope is through me. That's it. There's no other way. And it should be obvious by now that you're, half the country, essentially, right? Half the people in the country behave like they belong in a mental institution. And then, you got lots of people that are emotionally invested in the idea that they, they're that's the thing. They're totally invested in the idea of mass immigration being a good thing. Spending and spending and spending and spending and spending. Raising taxes, raising taxes, and government spending, spend. They think that stuff like that's a good idea. The thing is that in order to change someone's mind on that, that's the thing. They say and they think what's in their best interest. They're surrounded by people. Their friends, their family. They're surrounded by people who. They don't want to lose their friends. They don't want their relationship with whoever they're with to fall apart. They're invested in that, and this has been going on for a long time now. This has been over a decade. This argument about various things that are going on in this country and other countries. And this is the thing, right? Think about it. You go Australia, New Zealand, Canada, USA, Europe. People seem to not be able to look very far. That's the thing. People can only see as far as the end of their own nose usually. Not much further than that. Look what's going on in the world. Can you not see that there is, this is something that's happening all around the globe in white countries, specifically. There's bad stuff going on all around the world, but the fact is that there's a reason for it. It's not because Keir Starmer is an idiot. It's not because Tony Blair was an idiot. It's not because Rishi Sunak was an idiot, or Theresa May, or any of these people. It's not because they're idiots. It's because they have a plan. And they like power and money. And this is the thing, right? So, you know, you got British people who have concerns about their country. You know, they want freedom of speech. Okay? So, like I said near the beginning of this video, I said that other people's right to express their views has been taken away from them. It's a problem. It's a problem. So, British people either learn, well, that's the thing, you know, people, that's the thing, you know, you're not standing in the truth if all you can do is look out for yourself. Do you get it? So if you can only think about what concerns you the most, and that, you know, the truth only matters then, you know, what am I supposed to think about you? What am I supposed to think? You know, I'm going to think you're an asshole. Basically. You're no good. You're self-serving. I mean, that's the thing, you know, the truth hurts, you know, the truth can hurt sometimes, and the truth, you know, it can be inconvenient, and, you know, it will upset people, it will make people angry, it will make people unhappy, and, you know, you'll probably have a lot of arguments with people. Yeah, so, you know, I've been there, done that, many times. Hasn't done much for my health, really, I'll say that much. Yeah. So what is it that I'm doing? Well, I'm just sitting, watching the country fall apart, the world fall apart. I'm fighting a war. And this is a video to let you know that I'm here. It won't be the last video, I'm sure. So yeah, this country is in serious shit. I mean, look what, you know, do you know anything about communism? What happened in Russia with, you know, Lenin, Stalin? I mean, these are the same type, you know, we're talking about the same kind of people. You know, these people are snakes. You know, they're like dead, evil, robotic, demonic snakes. Essentially, you can try to tell them truth. You can try. Does it do anything? Really? And that's the thing, people won't get anywhere without me. You won't really get anywhere. And this situation is by design. I mean, think about it, you know. The situation, you know, people feel like they've been abandoned. You know, people feel like I do. I'm God. You know, you abandoned me first. Then now all the snakes. You're surrounded by snakes. And you're shit out of luck. You don't know what to do. I'm your only solution. I'm your only hope. And really all I can do is tell you that and hope you take notice. If you don't, you don't. Eventually someone will take notice. What happens then? Well, we'll find out. But it's a crazy situation. It really is. What people are going to see are, it'll be one bad event after another, after another. That's been going on for ages. Okay? The thing is, I could talk about so much, but I really could. But that's the thing, when I start going down that rabbit hole, I'll be set, yeah. I mean, this is the thing, right? Guys, they want to worship other guys. Guys, they don't have, they lack a circumcised heart. They don't have a circumcised heart. They don't, they want to be, well, that's the thing. People are cold-hearted. They don't have, they don't have love, and they don't have real love in their hearts. And that's the thing. They've allowed people to become sidelined, They allow people, they like to have their group and say, you can be in this group if you look a certain way, you sound a certain way. And then, they'll exclude, like, no, you can't be here because we don't think you measure up to us. So off you go then. And then when you have a group of people who have, that's the thing. You exclude people from your group because you don't like them, because of some daft fucking reason. And then you're surprised when you find a whole different group of people who are now at war with you, essentially. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope you do. Maybe you're a total idiot and you don't. Well, guess you're out of luck then. I mean, think about it. The fact is, all these problems, people have all these problems because they don't have love in their hearts. They don't love me. If they had real love in their hearts, they'd love me. They love God. But people are greedy, they're selfish, self-serving. They put themselves before God. They want to worship themselves instead of God. And that's the problem. That is the problem. Oh. Excuse me. So yeah, I think this was just a quick video to point that out, really. I've said it before, I'm fairly certain of that. But I thought I would touch on a few points there. It's, I listen to some videos and, some people, they'll talk and, they seem so hopeful. They're hopeful, like, yeah, we could, get this sorted somehow, or, we just need to, But this is the thing, right? I mean, I read a story. There was a guy. People are getting sent to prison for saying or doing very, very little. They basically haven't done anything. They haven't done anything really to deserve to go to prison, in my opinion. Well, they haven't. Well, it depends how you look at it, of course. But, well, yeah, everything I've explained, right? Think about it, But this is the thing, there was a guy who was involved with a murder of a 14-year-old, and he got released from prison after 6 months. I mean, how crazy is that? I mean, this is the society we live in now, where the government feels like it can do that, and half the population, pretty much, yeah. Well, at least 1/3 of the population are happy for that to be done. They have no problem with that. They don't care. Yeah. So the thing is that I'm here. I'm waiting. People have abandoned me. And I'm waiting for people to come back to me. If people come back to me, we can sort the problem. We'll find a solution. But until then, I just have to sit here and wait. People won't succeed without me. You cannot, you've got people trying to there are a lot of evil people in this world, and truth, they're not interested in it. They don't care. They're not interested. All they care about is themselves. Okay? They're only interested in what serves their best interests, right? That's all they care about. They're only interested in information that fits their narrative. Anything that doesn't fit their narrative becomes racist or sexist, and they will just keep shouting that until they get their way. That's all they do. That's all they want to do, and that's all they know. That's all they're about. People will, what are people going to do about that then? Without me, without God, people can't win. And that's the thing, the government has no compassion for those people who riot it. They don't care. They're like, they think that they deserve to be locked in a prison for a long time. You know, and what did some of those people, what did they do? What, you know, people are, you know, the government wants to drive people totally bananas. And then when people go bananas, you know, they seize the opportunity, don't they? That's the thing. You know, that's what the government's going to do. That's what Keir Starmer's going to do. And the likes of Yvette Cooper and Jess Phillips and those lot. Yeah. You know, that's what they're about. That's their thing. Okay? You know, the British people who are concerned about their country and their freedom of speech, yeah, I mean, they're going to be persecuted because they don't love me. I've explained. Yeah, I mean, how many times have I got to say it? How many different ways have I got to spell it out? You know, what's the point me even saying? I don't even know. I mean, you know, I'm just going to sit and wait. I'll make videos. I'll say what I have to say. But ultimately, you know, I've got money. I've got time. And, you know, I just sit back and watch the show. You know, it's a disaster. And I don't particularly want things to go badly. But they will. I'm life. And without me, all you have is death and destruction. You know, if you're not coming towards me, if you're not looking at me, then you're on the path to destruction. Plain and simple. And that's the other thing about Tommy Robinson. You know, he wants to talk about Christendom. You know, he wants to talk about the benefits. Yeah, it's easy, isn't it? I mean, you have migrants, you have people coming across in dinghies. Migrants. Yeah. My name's Grant, by the way. So you have all these migrants coming across on boats. You know, they're getting put in nice hotels, they've got nice food or whatever, right? You know, they can come over and be like, hey, thanks for the hotel. Thanks for the food. Yeah, that's great. Thanks for letting us in your country. You know, we like being here. Thanks. We like, you know, it's very easy to say, you know, you can say to God, like, oh yeah, we like your blessings. Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoy those blessings. Yeah. You know, where's the love? You know? Where's the love, yo? That's the problem. That's the problem. It's easy to say that you like being blessed. Yeah, everyone likes to be blessed, don't they? But why should God bless you? That's the question you should really be asking yourselves. Why should God bless you? What have you done to deserve God's blessing? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. That'll do.